What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm going to do a quick cleaning and kind of review, I guess, of the Rajah 2. You might ask yourself, what could somebody possibly need this size of a knife for? And let me tell you, I'm not in the woods. I don't even go camping that often. I live in a pretty urban environment. But as you can see, this guy's getting its use. I actually use this for tree trimming. No, I don't trim the tree with this, but this is an excellent tool to reduce the size of the branches that you cut down after you've kind of cut the bulk off the tree. I've had this knife for a while, but I will say that I've used it for this purpose maybe a total of 4 or 5 times. So not too much, only pretty much a couple times this year, a couple times last year. I use it for my tree here at home that needs trimming from time to time because it starts getting a little close to one of the cables that's above it. So we're kind of beside it. I gotta trim it from time to time so it doesn't tangle up. I also use this at my parents' house. I help them trim their tree. They actually have one of those little tree chainsaws that you get from Harbor Freight. Pretty good tool, actually. You know, some stuff from Harbor Freight's surprisingly decent for the price. But yeah, they have a little tree saw, so I'll use the little tree saw to chop the big branches and things like that, and make sure that everything's kind of like, you know, the tree's taking the right shape, and that's what I use the saw for. But then after that, when I go to clean up, I want to reduce the size of those branches because I don't have a wood chipper and things like that, and I want to make it as small as possible to fit as much of it as possible into the compost bin, which we have in the city here. So yes, I just touched the edge. As you can see, let me get a microfiber cloth here to dry all this liquid off from the cleaning wipe that I just used. Still very shiny. It's a beautiful stone wash on this knife. I love the look of it. I beat it up pretty good. You can't tell too much because of that wonderful stone wash. But it's interesting because it's a stone wash, but it's also very like smooth. It's like a high polished stone wash. I haven't seen too much of that. It's cool though. But as you can see here, you can tell along the edge here we have a little bit of chipping. That's just from whacking the hell out of those tree branches. Some of them are pretty big, but I'm surprised. This guy is held up surprisingly well. Here you have it. Handle's still a little bit dirty, but it's not as easy to clean on that thing, and I'm not super worried about it because it is, what is this? It's what in the knife community we call glorified plastic. So it's definitely just not gonna rust. My main concern with the blade is that if I leave it like that for way too long, it'll probably start to rust. It'll get a couple stains on it, and that just gets harder and harder to remove over time. So if you do stuff like that, if you use your knives and you do stuff that kind of like gets the blade all gunky and dirty, it's really not a big deal, and it shouldn't mess your knife up. It shouldn't create rust if you clean it at some point, like soon after having used it. I'm not saying also like immediately after using it, but I mean, it's been maybe a few days, probably up to a week since I actually did the tree trimming, and I just finished up a little bit of extra work today, so that's why I waited to clean it, and I cleaned it all at once today instead of cleaning it back then and then cleaning it again today. Sometimes you kind of just chop everything down to a small size and you fill up your green bin, and then you gotta wait for the green bin to be taken out so you can refill it again, and that was the case for me. So I didn't want to clean it in between chops. So I let it stay dirty, and as you can see, it did not get any spots, any rust, anything like that. So right now what I'm gonna do, let me see, I'm gonna go and get a little stone, and we're gonna try to get these birds out. So be right back. Okay, and we're back. So I got some paper towels, and I got a couple different things. I have this is a little what's it called, like a diamond, ceramic diamond stone or something. It's not ceramic 'cause it's not white, it's like a diamond stone or whatever. It came for free from Blade HQ with some other stuff that I bought. And I also have here a jar, the little ice cream jar that everybody uses for their parts and things like that. And here I have a little bit of water, and I got this whetstone. This is also something I got for free from Blade HQ. So, you know, I'm not a big into sharpening my knives kind of guy. I don't usually mess them up like this guy over here. But this is also not something I'm gonna like try to get back into like a hair shaving sharp edge, because that doesn't make any sense for what I use it for. So I'm just gonna start here. I'm just gonna roll it down, see if I can just get those little burrs out of there. You hear it hanging up there. Maybe use the edge. There you go. If I use the edge of this triangle, I can feel like it's making a little bit more of a difference there. It's a little bit, it's interesting because this is a recurve blade. And usually like flat areas like this are really good for me at least. I'm not the best sharpener, as you can tell. But for me, it's easier to sharpen like tonto points or things with straight edges with that one. But this guy's got a big recurve blade. Oh shit, it's getting caught on a cable here. It's just like a big ass handle. Look, it doesn't even fit in the screen here. Woo! Long ass knife. Try not to hit the camera. There is bigger cold steel knives, but I mean, I've had an Espada. The Espada is really cool, but the Espada is more of like a Bowie style knife, which to me has more tactical applications, and that's cool, you know, if that's what you're into. But very unlikely that I'm gonna, you know, be using that as my go-to weapon in a fight that is unforeseen. So I went ahead and got this one. Last time I had to choose a cool cold steel knife to buy. My wife asked me which one I wanted to buy, and I was torn because I've always wanted an AK-47. Forgive my dog, he's making noise in the back. He gets anxious when people walk by, and you know how he is. So, just trying to gently, very gently kind of pass the stone over here just to remove any burrs. I'm just trying to get rid of the chips. I'm not trying to really do anything else. It's a big one there. But we're already looking better. It's coming along. Like I said, I'm not looking for it to be like shaving sharp. I'm not even looking for it to cut paper. I'm just looking for it to have that edge so that next time I go swing it at a tree branch, it'll just lop it right off like it has been. So I'm gonna hold the angle still here. I'm not gonna fuck around with it too much. I'm just gonna go back and forth until I feel it's like smoothing out. Switch sides. I sometimes use the edge of this. I feel like the edge is, for some reason, a little bit more coarse. And I think this is going to be pretty much good enough for me now. Like I said, no purpose really in really resharpening this thing. There's no point. I'm gonna just keep whacking tree branches with it and dulling it again. So for me, I'm just trying to keep it clean. Alright, well, that'll be about all I have for you guys today. Quick review. Not really a review, I guess more of an overview. I'm not going to give you guys any of the details on this monster. You guys know how big this thing is. You know how much it weighs, a ton. You know how big it is. It's immense. It's just, you have all those details everywhere. They're all over every website, and everybody's going to list them in the reviews. I'm just here to tell you what I use this for. What is the practical application, and for what reason would somebody need like a 6.5 inch, what is this, like almost like a 7-inch knife, just the blade? What would you possibly use this for? And for me, with this beautifully like forward curved design that is, you know, supposedly like reminiscent of a kukri design, it's excellent for chopping branches. And it's great because if I'm going to my parents' house, I don't have to bring a whole machete. I can fold this up and put it in my toolbox, which is totally not as sketchy as, you know, carrying like a giant knife in your pocket. And then I can just, you know, deploy this when I'm at the place where I'm going to be cutting the branches. So, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. Tell me if you have this knife. Let me know. What's your favorite thing about it? What's your least favorite thing about it? Do you use it, or do you just have it in your collection because it's a really cool knife that you bought before, you know, before when you thought Cold Steel might discontinue them? Whoops. That might be the case for me, but like I said, over time I kind of decided to give it some use. It was perfect for what I needed it for, and it's been serving its purpose very well. So more of that to come, and until next time.